Hey, we are live. Oops, I'm sorry. I need to keep it down.
Please.
Let's put it closer. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight. Let's see who's all in the house. Angela. Starla was here first. Then we got the Terminator, then Skanes Girl and Spags. And Lynn's here. Gregory Kissel. Thanks for showing up, everybody. We really appreciate you being here. Well, it was an eventful weekend.
Started out good.
Yeah, it started out good, but for anybody that doesn't know, we were in a two-car vehicle crash on I-70 yesterday or Sunday. Totaled the truck, destroyed the trailer. Extremely lucky that we were not hurt as bad. I'm not hurt at all. Angela's got a concussion and is banged up from bouncing around underneath the seatbelt. The other person in the other car walked away, went home with her family. Yeah, it was something else. And the live tonight was going to be about going to SOE and the business, but it changed. Sunday afternoon, it changed. Tonight's number one, we're gonna have to keep it short because with Angela's concussion, she's actually not supposed to be sitting in front of the computer screen, but she wanted to come on and talk to you guys, and you know, we're going to talk about what happened and the way the community stepped up.
Yeah.
You want to tell them how you are and how you feel?
I'm blessed. It could have been worse. We could be dead. And I'm sorry, part of everything that's going on. I cry at the drop of a hat. And I don't know. It's craziness. I'm having problems. Like, I couldn't figure out. I'm trying to cook because, of course, I'm pushing myself because I have another event that I have to set up for tomorrow. But G's going to set up for me, and community members are going to get the trailer out there and all of that. But I was standing in the kitchen crying because I couldn't figure out what utensil I needed on the blender to make pie crust, which is just stupid because that's natural to me. And but it just is what it is. And I had the emergency room doctor cleared me of a concussion, and I talked with another doctor today who's in our community, actually just now, because I couldn't figure out my breakdown that I had just about an hour ago. And she said these are all classic signs of a concussion. You don't need to be in front of a screen. You don't need to be doing that stuff. And rest. Well, I have enough people to help me. I think I'll be able to rest. It's one of those things that when people talk, it seems like it's coming at me very, very fast. And that makes me break down because usually I can catch up. I can hold 3 conversations at a time. Like, that's just normal for my family. And I haven't been able to do that and that kind of thing. So I'll get over it, and it'll be fine. Bless her heart. She has actually walked me through what medicines, very strange. She said, comfrey, I have classic signs of whiplash and that kind of thing. And so I just ran in real quick to get comfrey on my neck and all of that. And very bizarre. It burned at first and now it's very warming. So that's good. And I can tell that it's working. And so then after we're done here, I'll go lay in an Epsom salt bath and hopefully that'll work too. But I've got MRI or 2 in my future for sure.
Well, and, not for sure.
Well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully Leanne can get me through all this. And
thank you, Gregory, Susie.
But yeah, we are definitely blessed because had the trailer been any heavier, we would have killed the person that the trailer hit. And
actually, the truck hit her. I was looking at the damage the truck hit her.
Are you sure the truck hit her?
Positive.
Okay. Had we been any heavier, we'd have killed her. And so usually we run about 2,500, 3,000 pounds heavier.
Usually when we go and we're taking the full kitchen like we do to SRF, that truck and trailer are almost 6,000 pounds.
Yeah.
And yesterday it was probably a little bit shy of 3,000
On Sunday, you mean?
on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little shy of 3,000 pounds.
Yeah, but we'll get through this, and God's got us. And if it wasn't for our community, we wouldn't even be home right now.
Right. You know, we went to SOE, went to John's birthday party, and it
Had
was
a blast.
it was fun. We did
Yes.
not do as well financially as what we wanted, but we did some.
I don't know if that's true yet, though, or not.
Well, on first glance, what we grossed at the festival.
Yeah.
But we did some different marketing, which turned out to be great.
Yeah.
And we'll find out in the next couple of months. How we did. But we stayed in a hotel, didn't camp, got to see everybody, and loved seeing you, Rosie. But we headed home on Sunday, and we were making great time. We were on point to get home about 7:30 p.m. And then right around 3:30 p.m., we were between High Hill and New Florence, Missouri on I-70.
Which apparently is one of the most dangerous sections on I-70.
Yeah.
Which I had no idea. We've been traveling through there since 93.
Within the course of about 3 to 4 seconds, we were in a 2-car accident.
We think it was 3 to 4 seconds. It could have been more.
Could have been more. But we were in an accident, and we ended up in the median.
We were trying not to kill the person we were getting ready to hit.
So, hang on a second. Let's see here. What are we doing?
If you see me looking away from the screen, it's because it gives me a headache. And for all of you that have texted me and it's taken me so long to get back to you, please understand it literally hurts to look at the phone and to type to you all. So
there's the truck and the trailer. That's how we ended up. We were in the median. Thank God that Missouri
the cables are cut.
Has safety cables.
We'd be dead
on the highway, because we would be dead. So there's a picture of the vehicle. So on the vehicle, there's 4 cables on that, and one of them was running across the top of the vehicle, and 3 of them were running down the side and pinning the door shut. Angela could not get out of the vehicle. I made her stay in the vehicle while I got out. But if you look at the back wheel right there, the back wheel is busted off. It came completely off. The axles came completely off the mount. The front axle, either the front axle or the front tie rods are broken. You can't see it in the picture, but the leaf springs from the back passenger side are shoved through the quarter panel. And so, you think of the dumbest things whenever something like this happens. I walked around shortly after the accident, and I looked at the side, and I saw the leaf springs. And as stupid as it sounds, my first thought, well, there's the leaf springs I need to make my charcoal refractory. And it's just one of those things that popped into my head, and it was just so weird. And then there's the guys. They had already cut the cables, and that's how the trailer ended up. And I don't know if you could see it right there. Well, where is it? Right there. I don't know, at the trailer tongue. That's the jack sticking up. The tongue was completely down on the ground, and it ripped the receiver off the truck. The only thing on the back of the truck from the tow package that was left on it was one of the little rings that the chains hook up to, and the light adapter, which I left on the truck.
I don't even care at this point.
Yeah, Brian, you can't really see it in the picture. When they had it up on the truck to get us out of there, the frame is bent. And I'm Scanes, you don't need to bring us any springs. We can get them here. Thank you.
Scanes is just making sure that what were you going to use that for?
I'm pretty sure. I'm going to make charcoal.
Oh, I don't even.
I'm going to use it to help make charcoal.
Scane's going to make sure she has charcoal.
But I'm pretty sure that the frame on that trailer is tweaked too. I remember as we're sliding backwards, tearing up all the cables and poles. I remember looking out the side window and thinking to myself, "Hey, that trailer's not supposed to be there," as it was sliding along beside us. Yeah, we were extremely lucky. So what happened was 3 or 4 cars ahead of us, 2 stray dogs ran out into the middle of I-70, and it was relatively busy.
Yeah, it was neck and neck. I mean, it was car after car. It was a Sunday. Late afternoon. It was what, 3:30?
Yeah.
There was semi truck after semi truck and car after car.
You know, Brian, you make that funny
What'd he
comment.
say?
It's low on blinker fluid. You know what?
It wasn't us.
That truck is a beast because it was still running after all that.
Saved our life.
And I'll get into that later. I'll talk about the implications of that. But so anyway, these dogs ran out, a black SUV, and this is what we got from witnesses. All right, so
because we had no idea. We were just trying to figure out what to do to
all we
survive.
saw was brake lights slamming on it in front of us. So apparently, a black SUV cut a truck off. The truck
semi truck, not a truck.
Yeah, semi truck.
That's important because other information that we got.
Yeah, and it cut the semi truck off, and then he put on his brakes, and then the car in front of us put on her brakes, and we ended up in the accident. Well, let me see if I can do this. So when she put on her brakes, we were far enough behind that I had room.
We were 7-8 cars behind.
Well, we may not have been that far.
I think we were.
But this is the distance, and we were going here. Dang it. Anyway, we were moving forward, and the distance was closing, and then all of a sudden it went like that because she slammed on her brakes hard after she started braking. Well, there was enough room between her car and the safety barrier that I started pulling over to get.
Oh, you had room we had time to even think about that because you told me to brace myself.
Yeah. I thought we could make it. Well, when she slammed on her brakes, I pumped my brakes, and when I did that, the trailer fishtailed, and so it went and it pushed the ass end of the truck towards her vehicle, and that's when we slammed it. And when we slammed her car, it spun us around, and luckily we spun around before the trailer broke off before it came and got beside us. And we hit the safety barrier, and it tore everything up. It shot her. She was in a little Honda.
How in the world? And this is how I know she had enough space. She did not have to slam on her brakes. How in the world no other vehicles were involved? I have no idea. Because she literally, we got her it was the fast lane, the passing lane, and she shot over to the slow lane, across the slow lane into the ditch, and nobody else was involved. Right. So this is how I know she had plenty of room to stop. I wasn't imagining that.
Lynn doesn't think we should talk too much about it.
Yeah, no, we need to keep it. We need to keep it low.
We're not talking about nobody. We're not assigning blame to anybody. No. We're just telling the facts as they are right there.
However, there's dash cams and things like that from other witnesses that are being sought out.
So. And everything came to rest. First guy that shows up on the scene says, can I look at her? Because I checked her and I couldn't get the door open, so I was going to go on the other side. And he jumped in, and I said, are you qualified? And he goes, combat medic, retired. And I was like, be my guest.
He was an angel. Yes,
and his name was Matt. We did not get a last name. So Matt, if you show up on this live, contact us. We want to say thank you. And then he took care. He did triage on her, and he said that her overall state was okay.
I just had to remember to breathe. I was in a panic. You get that shock sets in, and I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea. Should I be crying? Should I be getting out? Can I get out? I felt paralyzed that I couldn't get out. It was weird, just really weird. I never felt so out of control like that before.
I had to crawl out the back seat to get get out. And I went over and saw the cables, and there was no way she was getting out. So Gypsy says it's good to see you both. Yeah, we're glad to be here. But the EMT showed up, and the fire truck showed up, and they were great. The fire department was volunteer, and the EMTs were on staff, and they
were able to encourage me to crawl out of the truck instead of pulling me through the window.
Yeah.
And that was wonderful. That saved me a lot of embarrassment.
Yeah.
Until I got to the ambulance.
Yeah, you have to tell them that part of the story. You got to admit that's funny.
That was funny.
But they took care of it. Now I was
but they were really kind about it. They didn't mean to embarrass me, but they actually got me to laugh once I saw it. And so then I could explain what was going on. And Hunter and all of them, they were just like, well, at least you're laughing.
Beth Emily says that you got shock as well. And she did.
Yeah.
So, and once I made sure that she was okay, I had to go back to the truck. I had to stand over the truck because I had unsecured weapons in there. Thank God this didn't happen in Illinois, because we would have both been in jail.
Yeah, I couldn't crawl out until you secured those weapons.
Yeah, and then we had the money box from the weekend in there, and it's not that I don't trust anybody. It's just I don't trust anybody.
There's things you secure.
Yeah, there's things that especially the firearms. The last thing I needed was somebody walking off with one of those firearms.
But everybody was so understandable. The fire department, the paramedics, the police, the state patrol. They had county sheriff, state patrol. And it just seemed like everybody was on scene. It was that bad. And they were trying to get us cleared as fast as possible, because in reaction to our accident, there were 2 other accidents.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, they were great. But the towing company, Schreiber Towing out of New Florence, Missouri. If you ever break down near New Florence, you need to give them a call. Those people are awesome. They did a great job. They had other calls that they needed to go to. So when they got us loaded, we pulled some stuff out of the truck and the trailer, got into the truck, and they dropped us off by a hotel and the McDonald's there in New Florence, because they had to go take care of other calls.
In hindsight, they were doing a nice thing.
Yes, they did it.
But at the time, we felt very panicked and didn't know what to do.
Northern Girl Hobby says Terminator told her what happened. Glad to see you're safe.
Yeah.
But so, and this is where the cool part of the story starts. Actually, it started before this. So my first concern after her was the animals here at home, because the kids were going home and the animals would be locked in the house all night long and not anybody to take care of them. And I tried calling their mom. I could not get a hold of her. So I started making other calls. I finally got a hold of Mrs. Hacks, and she started calling people, and I hung up because I had to get with Angela. She was in the ambulance, and I did not know what was wrong with her. I thought they were going to be taking her to the hospital.
They were going to take me to the hospital. Once I found out the details that they were going to take me to the hospital, I panicked, and they had to keep reminding me, breathe, 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 because I was in that panic, and I was like, no, I'm in the middle of nowhere. We know nobody. And so now I'm going to be separated from Garen. I don't know where Garen's going. Garen doesn't know where I'm going. Like, we had no idea, and no vehicle, no nothing. I couldn't have it. And I actually had to promise the paramedics that I would go to the hospital when we got home. And I did.
Yeah. Brian says he had a 68 Camaro driving at 130 miles per hour.
Dang.
Spun across 4 lanes at 5 o'clock traffic and survived. God, that's the important part.
Dang.
God does weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
So within 30 minutes of the accident, the community, hang on. The community had put together a rescue plan.
We didn't even ask for it. We had no idea what was going on until they called back and told Garen what was going on.
Which took a load off it.
You're gonna make me cry. I was gonna start crying.
No, here's the deal. Here's the deal, folks. This is why we do what we do. And it's why we preach what we preach.
The beautiful thing is that they had already taken upon themselves to put a plan together to come and get us, to get everything out of the trailer, out of the truck. Tag was on it, Darren was on it, Patty was on it, Tom was on it, Gypsy was on it. They were unloading trailers, trying to get trailers in. Gypsy had his truck and trailer ready to go. Darren actually had to unload a trailer, get it on the truck, and get it ready to go. Tom knew what was going on. Tom needed a starter in the truck, so Tom went and got the starter part so that he could get that truck working and operating, so that we had a loaner vehicle to finish up the last event and get feed and all that. We're operating farm rates, so we have to have a truck. And everybody had all of that taken care of, and all we had to do was sit in McDonald's for 4.5 hours, and they came and got us. And I just want to say, I want to shout out, we were in New Florence, right?
Yep, New Florence.
If you guys exit 179, I think is what it was. I think it is exit 179, where that it's a Love's and then a Shell station across the highway, and there's a McDonald's sitting right there. You guys, if you ever go through there, and I know McDonald's food, you're like, yuck, but I'm telling you, those are the most caring people inside there. Not only did they let us sit in there and wait, but when we finally got hungry and decided to go ahead, that we could eat something.
Lucy's crying.
Yeah, that we could actually eat something. Garen went up and ordered our dinner, and the girl behind the counter actually paid for our dinner. And so we didn't even know her. We didn't even know who she was.
I forgot to ask her name. I just realized that today.
She was supposed to email us, and she never did. Yeah, and I mean, just angels everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And then the weird part is that, you always wonder how you can ever say thank you.
Yeah.
And
this is wild.
Yeah. And so as we're sitting in there and we're waiting for Darren and Daniel to come and get us and get all that stuff done, as we're waiting to see how long it's going to take and that kind of thing, the first thing, one of the firemen on scene shows up.
Yep. When he walked through the door and he looked at us like he knew us.
I was in the restroom. Remember?
I thought he was somebody that was at the festival, and then it didn't dawn on me who it was until we started talking.
Yeah.
But he stopped in to get food for him and his wife and his 5 kids. And Beth Emily says McDonald's employees have been awesome lately.
Yes.
And we sat there and talked. We sat there and talked for a good 5-10 minutes. And
yeah, he finally had to say, "Hey, I'll subscribe to your channel."
Well, no, he actually texted.
I'll send you pictures.
He actually texted about an hour and a half later, saying that him and his wife had watched some of our videos and they are subscribers. So if you're on here tonight during the live,
thank you so much.
I can't remember your name. I forgot a lot of stuff. What was happening?
It was just so stressful. It
was so stressful. Say hey and we'll give you your dues, but and then later on,
I don't know, that's the weird part. None of them want it, and I feel like I owe them so much. Like we owe them so much. It was just that whole thing was crazy. Oh, and then after he left, the EMTs that had me in the ambulance, they showed up for dinner, and you couldn't get to the register fast enough. They had already paid for their dinners. We were going to buy them dinner.
Tell them what they did to you in the truck. Tell them what the one dude did to you in the truck. This is actually kind of funny.
So he basically, like, I'm leaning on him, my hip, my knees. I must have hit my knees somewhere. They finally ended up popping Monday morning and popped into place. But I mean, I was pretty hurt, and I tried to play tough guy. I told him, I said, I'm a tough redneck. You don't have to do that. And, but the reason why that came up is because he looked at me and he goes, do you want a blanket? Are you cold? And I was like, no, I don't need a blanket. I'm fine. And this is after Oh, okay. So let me go through here first. All right. So when we get in there, they have to assess me and they need to look at where the pain was because it was in my neck and down my shoulder all the way to my fingertips. It was bad. It was like burning, felt like it was on fire and that kind of thing. And so they were going to cut my sweatshirt off. And I had my my pink freesteading sweatshirt on, my hoodie that I've had for years. And like, I know the ink is coming off and all of that, but Tag designed all that.
Mhm.
And so I'm pretty attached to it, even though it is falling apart. And I'm like, because that's like the beginning of our journey, right?
Yep.
And so, or just another chapter of the beginning of our journey.
It's part of the commemoration of our journey.
Right. And so the one guy looks at me and he goes, how attached are you to that sweatshirt? And all I could think of is how I'd be letting Tag down. I'm going to lose my sweatshirt. I'm never going to be able to get the sweatshirt again. And I looked at him and I go, why? Are you getting ready to cut my sweatshirt off? And he goes, we have to. We've got to get it off of you. And Hunter, I only remember him because he like came up with like it was a total girl idea. Like we're saving clothes, right? And so I don't mean anything bad about that, Hunter, if you're watching, but like Hunter's like, okay, I think I have a backup plan. And here's what we could possibly do. What if we take your left arm out first, and then we could lift it over and we can kind of slide out your other arm and we can get it over your head. And I'm like, I'll suck up the pain. Let's do it. We could totally do this. And so that's what we did. So we get that off. And then the other paramedic, and I'm so sorry, I cannot remember your name, but it was funny. So he looked at me and he looks down at my lap, and then he kind of looks at me and he points down at my lap and he's like, do you need a blanket? And I was like, no, I don't need a blanket. What a strange question to ask. And he kind of pointed down at my lap. And so I looked down at my lap. Well, after, you guys know I wear pretty big sweatshirts. So after taking the sweatshirt off, my lap is totally soaked. I knew my legs were like, I had spots on my legs and that kind of thing. And I knew my hip was wet. Well, anybody who's ever traveled with me before, y'all know I carry like a big old
local prepper.
I carry like a big old mug of iced tea with me everywhere. I love my iced tea. I'm kind of like Uncle Si. I'll drink a gallon of iced tea every day. And so my iced tea came up, because we were just flying and bouncing around. It came up out of the cup holder and landed directly in my lap. He thought I peed my pants. And he goes, I was like, I looked down and I'm like, oh no, that's iced tea. I swear to you, that's iced tea. And he's like, well, it's happened before. I just thought I would ask. And I was like, then I had to second guess. I'm like, do I smell like urine? And he's like, nope, I don't smell like urine. Nope, it's definitely iced tea.
You didn't say that part of the story in front of Daniel and Darren.
No, because I didn't want to hear about it. So I was just like, I wanted to double check, but like my bottom part wasn't wet. And then Garen thought I peed my pants too, until he looked down and he was searching everywhere. Well, are all of the legs wet and all that? And he realized, he's like, oh, the iced tea glass is empty. It was just iced tea.
Well, and she was wet in places she wouldn't have been if she had done what they were afraid of. Yeah, Lynn doesn't believe you. Lynn says, yeah, that's the story. That's what happened.
No, because I guarantee you, as soon as we got to McDonald's, I had to go to the bathroom.
But we were on scene.
But that's when he said that, and I started laughing, and they're like, well, at least we got you to laugh. And that was probably the point that I actually started to breathe. Mm. And so doesn't that take great paramedics that they can get you from a state of panic to a state of laughing?
Yeah. So they took us up there, they dropped us off, and the truck, the frame of the truck is at eye level when it's sitting on the back of a wrecker. The frame on the truck was definitely bent. You could literally see it. And what was so, I'm not going to say dumb. So our insurance company has a piece of software that when you make a claim, you start telling them everything that's wrong with the truck, and they put it in.
Which is weird. You're just in an accident. You don't really know what's wrong with the truck.
And so she does this, and she gets, and the lady on the phone, Tanisha was her name. She was fantastic. She was understanding when I had a hard time getting information and me slowing down and taking care of it. But she got done putting the stuff in, and she said, yep, it says right here, your truck's not totaled. And I was like, what?
You all saw the pictures. You don't even know what the undercarriage looks like.
She goes. They didn't even see the pictures.
No, you just showed the pictures.
Oh yeah,
on here.
you guys saw the pictures. I was like, no, that thing's total. Well, it says here that we're supposed to schedule a tow to the nearest mechanic of your choice, and I was like, why don't we hold on? Why don't we just pump our brakes on that for a second? And why don't you have your adjuster come out and look at it tomorrow or the next day, and see what's going on? She said, okay, we can do that, because I was pretty adamant. I was like, you know,
I mean, the trailer hitch was completely tore off. There was no towing that trailer or hauling that trailer anywhere. The tow truck had, they did get it on, but it was difficult to get it on. Just seemed like everything that could go wrong went wrong. There's a short somewhere in the truck. So
oh yeah, that was fun.
It was not funny. It was not fun. It frustrated the state trooper. It frustrated the county sheriff.
So every time I shut the door's locked. And the first couple of times it happened, I didn't think anything about it because the passenger window was down. We rolled it down.
But then somebody rolled it up.
I rolled it up because they were getting ready to take it away, and I didn't want.
And then the door got shut and it locked.
The door got shut and it locked. And then they blamed me for doing it. But we were on scene for what, an hour and a half? Because the
accident was like 3:30ish, from the best I can tell from the picture that one of the firemen that somebody sent me, one of those pictures. It was around 3:23, 3:30, and then we didn't get dropped off to McDonald's until about 4:30.
Was it 4:30?
Yeah, it was around 4:30.
But so it was not very long. But towards the end of being on the side of the road, we had the entire I-70 was completely shut down, and the state trooper, his main concern was getting everything opened back up because they didn't want a big backup. And
well, there were more accidents happening because of our accident.
Yeah, so he got a little testy. But we had 3 different people telling us to do 3 different things to make it work, and
it did not work because there were 3 different people telling us 3 different things. I will tell you this though, and what'd you say it was? It was Vicar Towing in New Florence. Is that what it is? Schreiber Towing. So they were so damn cool. They realized, because they could see the panic that we were in, what we were trying to get done, and that kind of thing. And we'll say president and vice president. Let's go there. Yeah. Because that was made perfectly clear. But which I thought was so cute, because that's how I'd kind of like to run my household, but that doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
But no, she did. She runs a tight ship. And she said, when your people get here to get you and you guys are ready, she said, look, we may be out on the road. You may have to wait a little bit, but we will make sure that you get into the yard because we close at 4:00. And we were telling her there's no way they're going to get here. We're 4.5 hours away from home, and they still have to clear trailers and that kind of thing. And she said, you just call us when you're ready. It was 10:30, 10:20. And let them know, hey, we're on our way. And they were just right down the road. And
Chuck, the vice president, opened up the gate, let us in there. Super cool guy.
Yeah. He even helped unload, didn't he?
Yep. No, he held the light.
I call that help. I consider that helping.
They allowed us to get in there at 10:30 Sunday night and pull everything out of the truck and open that trailer up, guys. You know how you load trailers, right? You try to keep it even, try to keep the weight over the axle. Everything, the entire back half of the trailer was completely empty, and everything in the trailer was stacked up in the front of the trailer.
That was a lot of stuff too.
Yeah, it was. Well, thank God it wasn't as much as normal.
No, it's no joke. It could have been serious damage.
Yeah, had we been fully loaded, I would not have even been able to get out and hit her like we did. We would have slammed right into her. And there's some discussion. There was some discussion yesterday. Would we have just driven over the top of her because of how high the truck sat, or would have we just smashed her into the back of the semi?
Yeah, would have, could have. Let's not go there. Right?
So again, everybody all around is extremely blessed.
I just hope she knows how lucky she is.
That comment Brian made earlier about God doing funny things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the truth. But we got Darren and Daniel showed up. We got everything loaded up, and we started home. We ended up getting home at about 4 o'clock, and she went directly to bed.
I just had to. I didn't.
She,
My arm was in a sling, and I had to. I needed to go straight to bed.
she was asleep within a couple of minutes.
Nobody would let me go to sleep on the way home. So Daniel, I swear, I think Daniel was son of hacks. I swear he was making stuff up to just make me laugh. And I'm like, you can't make me laugh too hard. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Stop. But yeah.
But we got home. I had to get the dogs taken care of and bring essentials in, that we needed, and I couldn't sleep. I laid down in the middle of the living room floor and turned the tube on and sat there and stared at it for about an hour and a half. I finally went to sleep. I got about an hour and a half sleep after we got home, and then I was up taking care of animals. I was figuring I went 40 hours on an hour and a half of sleep.
40? That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Last night, though, folks, I'm telling you, we were busy doing stuff, and I finally went to bed at 10:30, and I slept straight through, which does not happen. I slept for 7.5 hours, and that just does not happen.
I'm really hoping my muscle relaxers were finally in the system, so you were able to pick those up for me. So I'm going to go ahead and take the dose right before bed, and hopefully, with all the tossing and turning and that kind of thing, hopefully I don't wake up, because that's how it's been. I can sleep for about 2 hours or so, and then I'm up for an hour until I get another headache, and then I can go back, and then I'm out. And he was kind of not giggling, but you thought it was kind of interesting, because usually it takes me forever to go to sleep. But I'm just like, I need to go lay down, and I'll lay down. And you said,
oh yeah,
it was like 4 to 6 seconds. I'm out.
Last night at 7, she went in and laid down, and I was in right after her, and she was already asleep. And then she woke up, and I can see why. She was rolling around.
It hurts. It hurts.
Yeah.
Nothing's comfortable, because my right side and my left side hurt.
Brian says right. You're not supposed to sleep after a concussion.
No, but oh my gosh, I was exhausted.
She needed some Tylenol, and I went over to the.
Would you pay $50 for that?
No, it was only $3 something.
Oh, that's not bad.
But the only Tylenol they had was Tylenol PM. And I was like, there's no way in hell I'm giving that to her. So I just got her generic stuff.
Yeah.
And Brian's telling us about all the vehicles he's wrecked.
What did he say?
He said you're not supposed to sleep after concussion. I twisted a 1988 GMC step-side pickup like a pretzel. They wouldn't let me sleep after the wreck.
Dang.
Well, I tried keeping her awake and talking to me on that. Starla wants to know if you're icing your neck.
No. So a friend of ours who is a doctor, she used to be an anesthesiologist, and now she's a natural doctor. She's helping me through this, and I just reached out to her this evening, only because I'm having weird meltdowns, and I'm forgetting weird crap that I should automatically know. And G and I had a conversation, and I'm like, why are you yelling at me? And he's like, because you're not listening to me. And I like a child, I'm plugging my ears, and then I start crying because this is not me, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with me. Like, I can't argue with anybody. I can't yell at anybody. I can't like it seems like my entire personality is just gone.
Did you guys hear that? She was upset because she couldn't argue. That's literally what she just said.
Well, I also couldn't understand. I couldn't understand what he was saying either. It was just coming so fast, and so it was overwhelming, and it took me. It actually took a while, and I had to just kind of recover from that. And I went back, and I'm like, okay, can you slowly explain? Because he has a way of just vomiting information at you, right? And so you're supposed to just get it and go with it. And I had to ask him, and I said, can you just slow it down for me a little bit? And that went better once you did that. So
because you let me talk. It's okay. So yesterday, a couple of, more members of the community stepped up. Milk Lady and her husband brought this week's milk over, plus she brought a dish over.
Oh, it's good.
Which, by the way, was extremely good.
It's really good.
I had it for breakfast. It was awesome.
We've been eating on it.
And then not Tom. Who was it? Redneck.
Yeah.
Redneck.
I would just
Well, I didn't
call
wanna-
it the way it
I
is.
didn't want to say his name.
Tom and
Anyway,
Tiffany. Yeah.
anyway, they've got a truck that is currently down, needs a starter. He started working on it, and they offered it to us to use until we get a replacement vehicle, because they weren't using it. I was supposed to go over Thursday and finish putting the starter in, and we'll have 2 vehicles again, and I can
Thank
start doing the
God.
stuff I need to do.
It's just so hard not being able to get feed, but you know, the hacks are stepping up and they're bringing feed to us
Well, feed,
tomorrow.
and then I was going to get lumber for projects, so I could
Right.
start
So
actually
we could
fixing
start
the
the
house.
project.
Of course, money being the way it is after
Well, you
this,
got to figure out what insurance is going to do.
yeah, we got to figure that out before we pull the trigger on anything big. But
We can get small stuff done, though. Yeah.
that's why I choked up earlier, guys, because the community, this would not have happened had we stayed in Missouri.
Every single person in our community has stepped up that knows about what's going on. Anyone that's known what's going on has stepped up and said, "How can we help you?
Are you okay, and do you need anything?"
Yeah.
Thank you, Em.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, this is why we talk about what we talk about. You know, like I said, this would not have happened had we lived in
Including Chris
Missouri.
and Misty. I didn't tell you I got a text from her today. I was just getting a headache, so I had to keep it short. And I said, I'll tell you what happened in person instead of trying to type it out.
Mhm.
But she said she understood. She's like, let's get together soon. And so we will. Just give me a minute.
Yeah.
Just give
You
me a
know, and
minute.
then and them offering that truck was really good, because we forgot we did not get rental car coverage.
And we
because-
didn't, because usually we have 3 operating vehicles
Yeah.
at one time.
Yeah. You know, and I didn't even think about the Jeep going down. I didn't even think about that.
No, we should have added that back in March.
Hey, Joseph G. But you know, it's been a wild ride, and you know, I don't know about you, but I've already gone through the first 4 or 5 stages of grief.
I don't think I have.
I hit anger this morning.
I haven't gotten there.
For some reason, I hit anger, and I was extremely angry about what happened and individuals involved. And I
don't even know how to process all of this, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that's what's driving me crazy the most, but I also don't think my brain is working properly either, because, you know, anybody who knows me will testify. I just don't cry at a drop of a hat.
Gypsy, thank you. I will let you know. Hopefully the getting the starter on that truck will work, and because I can't do anything until Saturday anyway.
Yeah.
We've got another meeting on
Saturday.
a community get together on Saturday. The topics we're going to discuss.
Hopefully the community is going to understand, because I'm hoping this will all be gone by then. If it's not, I need a chair outside on the patio, because I'm going to have to step out sometimes.
Skane says I think she's still in shock too. She hasn't processed it. Joseph, we were in a 2-car accident on I-70 right there by New Florence. Totaled the truck, totaled the other car. Only by the grace of God did nobody die, and everybody basically walked away from the accident. She's a little hurt. She's got a concussion.
I'm bruised. I'm bad.
Bruised. Well, and her shoulder, I was looking at her shoulder yesterday, and her shoulder looked like mine did after when I was in high school. I dislocated my shoulder during a football game, and then it popped back in when I hit the ground. And that's exactly what her shoulder looked like.
Yeah, but you can't, I could not hear any pop, pop, pop. I couldn't even hear what I was saying. All I could hear was everything. I mean, it was so bad that the AR was in the back seat. And what was the part on the AR that broke? Like, there were things shattering, and you could hear things shattering and breaking in the truck. It was weird.
My AR was in the back seat, and it bounced around hard enough that it popped all the screws holding the foregrips together, and the AR that the ring on the for the foregrips is a screw on one, and it came undone. And I was getting it yesterday. I was looking at it, make sure it was okay, and I picked it up, and the foregrips just fell off, and I was like, son of a.
But it's been like that with a lot. So, like, even plastic tubs, here's a weird thing for you. The plastic tub that we keep the t-shirts in completely disintegrated. Like, it fell apart. It's a new tub. and it was just broken up. We were picking t-shirts up from everywhere.
Yeah. Lynn says that his experience with this, a lot of bad things happen about wild and stray dogs.
Well,
Since we've been here,
here's my thing. Here's my thing. I'm just going to say this because we can't find the semi truck anyway, but here's my thing. Who in the hell doesn't just run the frickin' dogs over? And so there's a theory behind that, and a theory to the way that the trucker ran. Apparently,
we're not going to talk about
no, but here's where we're going to go with it. So apparently, and something that y'all need to be aware of, and I know we got some truckers in here that can testify to this or say it's wrong. I don't know. Maybe we got wrong information, but there were a lot of people on scene that were very concerned because of some Mexican drivers that are coming in that do not have valid CDL licenses, and they are running rigs, and they legally can through, what'd you call it, NAFTA?
Yeah, NAFTA. There's a lot of Mexican truckers. It's really bad down in the border states, but they drive all over the country, and they've got trucks that aren't certified as they should be, and as far as safety goes, and they don't have all the proper licenses.
Yeah, and he just ran off. He didn't stop. He should have stopped, especially since he was part of the problem.
Yeah, Skanes says it's a knee-jerk reaction. Yeah, I don't know. I've run over dogs and cats, and
it's a road hazard.
And
it's a road hazard. Plus, you've got traffic doing 70, 75 miles an hour. Are you kidding me? Run the damn dog over.
I do know that with deer, you don't slow down. You maintain your speed, and you hit them at the speed you're going, or else it's gonna mess things up.
It'll end up right in your windshield. It'll kill you.
Joseph says the government is allowing them to run in the U.S. Yep.
And they don't stop for accidents, so everybody just FYI.
Yeah. But thank God we had two people. One of them was actually a trucker. He actually stopped, turned around at the next exit, and came back and stopped and gave his thing. And I told him thank you.
His statement.
I did not realize that they are what's it called? Mandatory reporters.
Yeah.
Whenever they see stuff like that, they are mandatory.
Well,
reporters.
The ones that have a valid CDL.
Well, not all nurses and social workers do what their job is.
That's true,
so let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
But he stopped by, and he was really cool, and I these things happen, and you always wonder, is it my fault? Made me feel good that I had not one but two people that were behind us that saw it all transpire, and both of them flat out told me that from where they were sitting, there was absolutely no way
we could have avoided it.
Yeah, no way we could have avoided it. And I did what I could to minimize it, and wasn't able to pull it off for whatever reason. Like I said before, thank God everybody was okay. And then, Tag just popped in. Hey, Tag, we just got done talking about the community and how great everybody was.
And trying to save my freestanding pink sweatshirt.
Yeah,
That's disintegrating.
In all seriousness, this is why we build community, because in these times, and in the big picture of what could have gone wrong and what goes wrong in other people's lives all the time,
we're good. We're blessed.
This is not that big a thing. Things can be replaced. People can't, and losing a truck versus losing a house. We talked to a guy.
Losing a truck versus losing our lives.
Well, hold on. Let me finish. Talked to a guy this weekend. Him and his wife, fantastic people, North Carolina. He's retired Army. Still a good guy. Chet, and what was her name? I can't remember her name.
I don't know. Say that again.
Chet, the ones that gave us the freeze-dried food.
Oh, I can't remember.
Anyway,
you're asking a lot of me right now. I can't remember.
He was showing me pictures. His house burned down, and they've been living in a trailer for 2 years. And so and he actually said the same thing.
I think I remember you telling me this story. I don't. Tell me the details afterwards, because I don't remember.
Okay, but
I'm sorry. It's not that it wasn't important. I just don't. I don't remember.
Hey, Randy. But this is why we do it. And like I said, we would not have had the support structure in place in Missouri that we have here. Which every time I think about how much I miss Missouri, and I do miss Missouri because I am a Missouri. I'm still a Missouri boy through and through. Things like this come up, and I remember these type of things, and I'm reminded why we're here. And then we were talking yesterday, and one of the things that people in the community used to ride my ass about was I kept a mental ledger. And I know some of you, we've had this discussion on here before, and I know that some of you do the same thing. And I made the comment, I said, there's no way I can repay the gratitude, the amount of gratitude that needs to be done because of this thing. And I got my case jumped for using the word repay like I was keeping a ledger, but I'm not looking at it that way. What I'm saying is I can't express enough gratitude to let these people know how important they are to us.
I mean, literally around 4:00 in the afternoon on a Sunday, everybody they were uprooting their lives to figure out how to make it easier for us and get us home.
Starla's got to go. She says, thank you to all the community that helped Yoda and G, Mrs. Hacks, or Mr. Hacks, Mrs. Hacks, Daniel, etc. Praying for you, Yoda. Please take care of yourself and your.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, and we're gonna make sure she does what she's supposed to.
Everybody and their brother's trying to come in here and boss me around.
She didn't listen to me. She didn't listen to me and do what I asked her to do. So I'm gonna start riding her ass on it and make sure she's doing everything.
I'm just trying to catch up. I just want to bring my share of money into the household, and this is how I do it. And unfortunately, when you have a concussion, it goes a lot longer and not as fast, and it's not as fun.
Yeah, Randy, you go back and watch the beginning of the video for all the details. But long story short, we were in a 2-car accident on I-70 Sunday afternoon, and only by the grace of God did we survive. Did everybody walk away from it?
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, it wasn't just us, because if our load had been heavier, she'd be dead. So
well, and there very easily could have been many more cars involved.
Absolutely.
With the way things transpired.
Absolutely.
Joseph G says there's a lot of really good truckers out there.
Yeah, there
have helped prevent a lot of very bad accidents. I met one at the hotel.
Yeah.
Or the motel. He was
right
local
before we left, as a matter of fact.
He was local to Camden, and we started talking, and he said he was a trucker, and I immediately went into, hey, let me get you some samples. Here's our card. I talked to him about it, and he was, guys,
getting ready to meet his family to go to church. And
long haul truckers have the worst diets. The stuff that they are forced to eat because of the situations that they're in is terrible. Truck stop food, expensive, you name it. It's all stacked against them. And we talked about it before. One of the things we want to do is give them a healthy alternative, and we just need to get. We haven't given Joseph any samples.
Yeah, that's true. He'd be a good one to get.
Joseph, email us your address. We'll send you some samples.
Oh, he emailed us his phone number, and we never called him. So
him and I talked.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we talked.
Okay.
We talked. Yeah, I don't know why it slipped my mind. I apologize. Leonard says, get frisky. She'll immediately take care of that headache.
Oh.
No, she'll start complaining about it more.
It hurts. No, like my body hurts. It hurts bad. But I have a high pain tolerance, like freakishly high.
Randy says his son's a truck driver and he's raised old school, so he knows what he's supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, one of the firemen had to point out to me at McDonald's, he literally said that's not a good thing to have that kind of pain tolerance.
Yeah. So Terminator says, everyone, I live one day at a time because I could be here today but gone tomorrow. Everyone, since my house fire, when you are so close to death, it opens your eyes. So I'm glad you both are here. Yep. I told her yesterday that I'm dragging her ass to church on Sunday. Somebody's having a work day on Sunday, so I told them we were going to be a little bit late. Mossy Oak.
Okay.
Mossy Oak and Redneck.
How much am I going to be able to do? I guess we'll see. Let's see. Maybe I can get through all this stuff.
If you can go.
Can I cook lunch? I'll talk to Mossy Oak. Maybe I can cook something.
Yeah. If you're okay to go to church, you can come home and rest.
And then take food out. I can do that.
But and so guys, if you need help starting communities in your area, please contact us. Contact Tax for the Homesteader. We are here to help you guys do this, because this is why we do what we do, and we talk about what we talk about. It's too important and there's things coming that are going to test us to our limit. That's one of the, I was telling people, I was telling Milk Lady and her husband yesterday, you know, that I've said it before here too. So if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry, but it scares me. It scares me that we're being tempered the way we are. We are being prepared for something, and these temperings seem to get harder and harder, which scares me. Not in a fearful sort of way. How did Milk Lady put it? I don't remember what she said, but she said in an not expectant. You know. Anyway, it not a bad fear, but you know, I need to take care of this type of fear, concern. I don't know, maybe fear is not the right word, but you guys get what I mean. Hey, Rabbit.
I think it's funny that you keep looking at me thinking I can remember something. So it's good.
Bill Zeg says you need to start a journal.
You do?
No, you need to start a journal so that you can reference back once you start losing your mind.
I'm gonna lose my mind? What? No, why? Why would that be?
You're not gonna lose your mind. That was my fault, Bill. Don't you're not gonna lose your mind. He was trying to say that one of the things with concussions is short-term memory loss. I used the wrong word. I apologize. Where are we? Lynn says, stop it. You don't always, can't read that now. You don't always have to be doing something. You need to get some rest and recover. Yep, that's what I told her too, Lynn. I told her she should stay in bed today and tomorrow. But we'll see if I can keep her in there long enough. Randy's the next first responder. Take care of her and then worry about the rest. Yeah, and you know, Randy, there's an important word there too, worry. I was extremely worried Sunday. I could not help but think about everything that happened and the loss, the financial loss, and how we were going to recover. You know, God tells us not to worry. We place our faith in Him, which we do, and you know, worrying does nothing but rob us from our future. It takes our future from us, and it makes it so we don't enjoy things. And so I'm making a special effort not to worry about this stuff. Like I said, I passed almost to the acceptance part of the recovering from it. Yeah. Lucy says you need to go lay down. You look tired.
I am tired.
You know, but you know,
I want to try to wait though. I want to try to wait until 9 o'clock because I've got muscle relaxers now, and I'd like a decent night's sleep. I haven't had a decent night's sleep in a while.
Joseph says that we love you. Please take care of yourselves. As far as the rec goes, I'm fine. I don't have any aches and pains out of the normal, which is saying something. I think the reason that she was so hurt because you're only what, 5'4"?
5'2". How come you don't know how tall I am?
She's 5'2".
It's a big truck,
and she was sitting in that seat,
fit me,
and
fit me.
We bounced around, and I had a hold of the steering wheel, and I was trying to steer us through the whole thing, and I realized about 2/3 of the way through the slide and everything that I just had to let happen what was happening. Yeah, Tamara's right. I'm not going to keep you in bed if you don't want to stay in bed. And listen, I am not someone.
I'm afraid if I Okay, so here's the thing. I'm afraid if I stay in bed, I don't want to deteriorate.
No.
I've seen so many people do that,
You
and I
have to get
just don't
rest.
want to do
You
that.
have to get rest. And you have to
Aren't
get your
I
body recovered.
resting by taking things just one little step at a time?
No.
I didn't listen. I could have rolled out 50 pies today, a bunch of cinnamon rolls and all that, and I'm taking it a little bit at a time.
Yeah, Hogs, we were in a 2-car wreck on I-70 doing about 70 miles an hour on Sunday. Total the truck and the trailer. And
Oh, I told the nurse that I thought we got down to 50. You don't think we got down to 50?
I don't know. Oh, look, Freya's crawling in her lap because she's upset. Angela's upset, so Freya's trying to crawl in her lap. See, we even got good dogs.
Yeah, Freya's been glued to me. So is Dolly. I woke up this morning and like I had a dog at my head.
Dolly's over there passed out. Dolly doesn't care anymore. She says, "You're not taking care of yourself, so I'm not going to worry about it."
That's not true. She's like, "What are you cooking? Feed me, feed me."
But I'm in no position to tell her to take it easy because I was out pouring a concrete slab 3 days after my first heart attack.
Yeah.
So I really kind of hypocritical.
I'm not even pouring concrete. Like I'm doing apparently simple stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Randy says go crawl in a recliner, big comfy chair.
It hurts. I'm not gonna lie. It hurts to get in the recliner. The recliner is too big for me.
Thank you, Hogs.
So I have to fight the recliner to get situated. I tried it. And my hip is like to a weird point that so I can't scooch, which I would try to scooch, but then I have to try to use my arms. And then when I try to use my arms, my shoulder and my arm just hurts so bad. I do more damage trying to scooch. It's just easier to go lay down in bed. So,
but we appreciate everybody's concern and all the prayers that were put out for us.
Oh my gosh, the prayer chain that came together so fast and it's just unbelievable.
And we were extremely lucky. Like I said, everything can be replaced. All the stuff and aside from the truck,
take a while, but it'll get
aside from the truck and trailer, the product, there wasn't.
We only lost. Would you say how many bags of food?
No, I don't know. I need to get through and do a reconciliation of everything, but it wasn't nearly as bad as it could have been. I mean, seriously. If I'm
I did lose my prescription glasses though. They're dead. Like I have to wear them like who's that, Mr. Peanut? Kind of thing. Like they're toast.
Once we get set on, we'll figure it out if insurance will pay for that.
Yeah, because everything was just like flying all over the truck, and they're not working. So
and the replacing the truck. I mean, we were talking on the way home. If the insurance company decides not to total the vehicle and give us the full price,
I'm going to get an attorney on that point probably.
But I'm just saying if that happens, we've still got the engine and the transmission out of that. We can find an old retired fleet truck and with a bad engine, pull the engine and transmission out, and we got a truck with an awesome beast of an engine and a thing. And we tell me, okay, let me ask you guys a question. Diesel or gas when it comes to trucks? What do you think? We were talking last night, and maybe we don't need a diesel truck.
Right.
I've
seen regular gas trucks haul some serious stuff.
We had that.
We're not hauling over 12,000 pounds. So I don't know if it's necessary.
We had that 1500 that used to pull that trailer completely full of. See, Rabbit and Joseph both say gas.
Yeah, it'll be cheaper
and easier to work on. Depends on the load and distance. Yeah,
well, that's what I'm saying. So we don't do 12,000 pound loads. We thought we were going to, so we actually got the tags for that, but then we ended up not doing that because we weren't pulling those loads. Yeah, we figured that out the first 2 years.
Rabbit says he'll sell us his. Tamber likes diesel. Gas is easier and cheaper to maintain. Yeah, but in a pinch, I can rig a diesel engine to run off of stuff that gas engines won't run off.
You're gonna have to give up something. So, of course, we don't really know that yet. We just got to wait for the insurance, and
Well, at the end of the day, we're going to get what we can afford.
Yeah, and you know that I've got some concerns about some of the events that happened. And so anyway, I'm going to be seeking some external advice. So something's just not right.
Randy says it depends. Tambra's is 7.3. Ours is a 6.8.
What's that? What's the 6.8?
The size of the engine.
Oh. So Duramax Allison.
Yeah, please. Speaking of that, speaking of hitting the like button, let's change the topic to something better, something more fun. You guys like this new the new template that I did? I had some free time at work and I just kind of whipped that out, playing around, trying to learn how to do it. I got tired of having that stupid StreamYard logo on there.
I'm gonna have to step off for a little bit.
Okay.
Babe. Okay.
Go ahead. Well, I'm getting ready to wrap up.
Okay.
I mean, you need to go get your rest, and I still got some stuff.
I just need to refocus a little bit, get some Tylenol.
Okay. Starla says Psalms 91. If you say the Lord is my refuge and you make the most high your dwelling, I don't have my glasses on. Dwelling, no more harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near you. And the
Lord still
don't lose that receipt because
you just need this one or both.
Might as well keep both. No disaster will come near you. Just for insurance.
No insurance. You want me to make the basket?
Sure. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna have $500 worth of. All right. Hey, shout out to our insurance guy. He redid our insurance and got us great coverage. It's going to work out very well for us.
Just renewed it.
Yeah. Do what?
He just renewed it. That's what he put together for us when we came over the first time.
Yeah, but he did a great job. He did a great job on our insurance. So shout out to him. I'm gonna not tell you who it is, but next time I see him, I'm definitely gonna let him know what a good job he did.
Sloppy kiss and a big hug.
I'm not giving him a sloppy kiss.
I'm gonna put.
Randy says, "Take care."
Karen, put this right
here. Okay. How many feet of snow? 4 feet of snow. Does that say 4 feet of snow? Oh my gosh. Zeg says, Diesel, stay away from death. Full coverage, 0 deductibles on my vehicles. Well, we took deductibles because we need
only deductible is on personal property loss.
Yeah. And I guess on cars we don't have a deductible on collision. The insurance will pay for another truck most definitely. Trailer, I'm not so sure, Tambra. It just depends what the adjuster's like. You know, here's the deal. And I don't want to talk bad about insurance adjusters because and insurance companies because they've got a job to do. They've got responsibilities. Their primary concern is their shareholders, and they treat every accident with that in mind. So and you know, it's just like everything else. There's good people every place, but you have to work it within the limits of your organization. Bill says he's praying for both of us, everybody involved in the accident. Yeah. And you guys, seriously, say a prayer of thanks to the EMTs and the first responders because they did a fantastic job. They really did. You know, and I'm not going to lie. We got a soft spot in our heart because of what our son does. But still, they did a fantastic job. Yeah, Joseph says stay away from DEF system, the DEFs, because they're a waste of money and hard to fix. Oh, Lucy says they got 4 feet of snow, but it's 40 degrees and raining right now where she is. That's going to make a mess. Yeah, Tambra. I'm pretty sure they're going to pay for the trailer. It's just how much they want to pay. Yeah, what if it's total or not. like I said, I'm pretty sure with everything that happened, I'm pretty sure if you get under that trailer, you're going to see that the frame is twisted. Now, there's no way, because it was not a heavy duty trailer, and that's one of the things we were talking about. We're most definitely, no matter what, we're getting a tandem axle trailer next time. Just so much better with brakes. Yeah, we're gonna make sure they've got brakes on them. Yeah, Gregory says their insurance covers the trailer if it's hooked to the thing as well. So we got 2 people telling us, yeah, that's the case. We'll see. You know what? It's there. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not gonna fret over it. Lynn says insurance is procreated, which I totally understand. Beyond that, there's some things I'd argue with, like charging more for an older truck that is going to a parade and that are going to a parade. Well, we paid a pretty penny for the diesel full coverage, but man, I'll tell you what. I don't care what anybody says. Those Chevy Silverado 2500s, that truck's a beast. It was a beast, and it protected us. It really did. I mean, beyond what God did, right? But like I said, we'll see what happens. We'll take whatever happens and just deal with it the best we can, right? That's all we ask. And the insurance is just another tool in our toolbox of self-reliance. We make sure we've got the proper coverage. The being self-reliant, part of that, and one of the steps in full spectrum preparedness is your financial well-being, and insurance is one of those things. And that's what I would say to everybody in the chat, and everybody that watches this in reruns. Do a comprehensive inventory of your insurance liabilities and your coverage, and see if you need to fix it up. Yeah, Tamara, older trucks are the best. I saw on the way down to Tennessee, I saw the coolest. It was a Ford 250 gas crew cab. And it was that flat-sided Ford. It had the classic lines on it, and it looked awesome. I told Angela last night, I was like, if we can swing it, I want to get a C body. I want to get a 1980 C body and fix it up so it runs, and we can use it as our everyday truck. I would love to be able to find something like that. Yeah, Scanes is maintaining full coverage on both vehicles. Okay, guys, I'm going to start wrapping this up. Angela took some film of Saturday night at the SOE party. There was some cool stuff that was going on. If you go watch some of the other SOE videos, I'm sure there's some already out there, but we're going to get you so you can see what went on Saturday night. It's one thing I will give John. Not everybody showed up that they thought was going to show up, but the people that showed up made it a great time. John knows how to throw a party. He definitely throws a party. What's not going to be in the video was the rifle range. She didn't get any film of the rifle range. They had some fully automatic submachine guns out there. They had a 50 cal, Barrett 50 cal. Good time. It was a really good time. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, the only time zone that matters. I am doing the second part of the community emergency communications thing that I gave to our community. It's going to be over making a family communications checklist so you can have stuff pre-planned in case of emergency, so nobody's having to guess what to do and where to go, who to talk to and what to tell people. Thank God that we went through that, and I've been thinking about this family communication stuff because it helped me. It helped me Saturday or Sunday. I'm sorry, it helped me Sunday. So it's an important thing, and I made a community post. If you guys haven't seen it, I made a community post today with There's 2 Word documents, links to Google Docs that you can get to. One of them is the presentation I gave last Wednesday, and the other is the checklist. So you can download it, take a look at it. Unfortunately, they're in Word. I could not figure out, Google Docs will not let me post them as PDF, so I just put them in there as words. Yeah, Joseph, there's a lot of it, and what happens to us does not define us. Just remember that. It's how we handle what happens to us. Quite honestly, the last 3 years, I've not done a great job handling stuff. I'm not going to lie. I'm trying to do better, and this made me. It refocused me. And I understand that we could have died, but that never. The whole time the incident was happening, it never crossed my mind. It never did. It never crossed my mind. In fact, the whole time the accident was happening, aside from the butthole puckering aspect of it all, I felt as though we were protected. I honestly did. And I'm gonna make sure that I if I don't repay the ingratitude properly, I'm going to pay it forward. If I find somebody in the same situation that we were in, I'm going to do the best I can to help them. I'm going to lend a helping hand and do everything I can to make sure that what was paid to me gets paid forward properly. Yeah, Virginia, that was that I did not have it on during the accident, but I put it on immediately after the accident, and we started leaving the area. Yeah, it means something. Brian says life has been trying to kill him since the day he was born. Yeah, and that's something to remember. Remember, folks, you know what? The stuff, the people, all that stuff, none of us get out alive. And we need to be doing the best we can do with what time we got. Lucy was right. I actually did a video 2 years ago about the end of the world comes every night, meaning that when you wake up in the morning, the world's a different place than it was when you went to bed, and you could have something happen, in the blink of an eye. Think of all those poor souls over in Syria right now that are having to deal with the repercussions of people's religious fanaticism and dictatorial, tyrannical politics. A lot of innocent people that just want to go about their lives, but they're stuck in the situation where they have to deal with things like that. And quite honestly, if you are one of those people that think it can't happen here, you are sadly mistaken. It can happen here, and it eventually will happen here, because we are human. We, as great as America is, and as exceptional as the people are, and the opportunity we have is, we are just like everybody else. And eventually, it may not happen in our lifetime, but it's going to happen. This is why we need to make sure we're working on building our communities. And again, like I said earlier, if you need help building communities, contact somebody that's got an online presence from our community. We will help you. We will guide you as best we can. We will share our experiences so that you have a good idea of how to get a community built and running. The second thing is self-reliance. I was able to take care of a lot of stuff on Sunday. Fact is, I couldn't have done it by myself. Self-reliance only goes so far, so it goes back to community. But you know what? As I was pulling stuff out of the vehicle, whenever we were recovering it at the trucker yard, I made the comment. I said I did not realize how much emergency stuff I had in the truck. I mean, there was the fire extinguisher, the first aid kit with the tourniquet. We had a one of those little things that you put on somebody's mouth to give them mouth to mouth, so you're not sucking in their diseases and stuff. Had a second trauma kit that I completely forgot about. We had a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, Yoda let the girls know on for that in the little communication circle she's in, and they went all prayer warrior on us yesterday, which was awesome. Always keep prepping if it's small. Yes, absolutely, Hogs. And I apologize. I still haven't figured out how to pronounce your screen name. That the S is or that first S is in a weird place, and I always feel like I'm messing it up. So if I do, I apologize. But yeah, always go to bed. When you go to bed tonight, do something that made your position better. Hey, Rabbit says he's going to sell this. He's thinking about selling his homestead soon. Let us know soon. Selling his homestead. He's thinking. He says he's tired of running it, and he's thinking about becoming a nomad. Hey, Rabbit, I just so happen to know somebody that makes freeze-dried food for people that have little space and they're traveling cross country. So if you do that, let us know. Hog says Nicole and Jack has the same problem with their name as we do, so we're in good company. Got to see Nicole this weekend. She was extremely relaxed because she didn't have to do any of the prep work for the thing. And by the way, we didn't say this about the festival. Carrie from Thunderhill Farm, Carrie and Glenn, helped set everything up. She did a fantastic job. Well, I know they managed the entire production. Let's put it that way. Oh yeah. Oh, that's Tamara. Oh, absolutely. If Rabbit, if you go nomad, we're going to get you a shirt that says, I think it's about time to start slitting or hoisting the black flag and slitting throats. We're going to get you a t-shirt that says that. I think it's about time to hoist the black flag and start slitting throats. YouTube algorithm, that's the funny thing. We're not advocating violence. Freeze-dried Twinkies. You know what? I won't do that just because it's wrong. Yeah. I don't know, Rabbit. If you want freeze-dried Twinkies, you let us know and we'll see what we can do. We could probably hook you up. Hog says she hopes he makes the party next year. Okay, guys, look, it's about time to get off. Again, we appreciate y'all being here. You are part of our extended family. I hope it would be awesome someday to have a Grumpy Acres get together someplace and just invite people to come. The future is uncertain. Our financial situation's it's gonna take a hit, but it's nothing we can't take care of because we have been preparing for something like this. Not going to be happy about it, but that's just my personal thing. I got to deal with it, right? We appreciate you guys being here. Lynn says when the world ends, the roaches will be eating Twinkies. Yeah, Gregory, we'll take care of ourselves. Yoda, you need to rest your head. Skeins wants people to hit the thumbs up. Yeah. As Angela always says, be at least 1% better tomorrow than you were today. And as I say, you guys take care of yourselves and go out and live a life done free. All right.